Cup of Joe, what you know, Starbucks is closing about 450 stores, and they're not even telling these baristas, that their store is possibly closing or at this point closed. I did have a conversation with a barista who said that they got an AI phone call letting them know that their store was closing at end of shift, and basically to put up something on the door that would be printed out and letting everybody know that that store was permanently closed. Now, what happens to the openers? Because hello, former barista here, as an opener, your ass is in there at 4:30 in the morning. Now, here's the thing. Starbucks has missed the mark for quite some time because it's so interesting how I had some people in my comments talking about, oh, it's awful coincidence that they're closing stores right around this whole Charlie situation and thinking that it is attributed to that. And I'm like, could you yell any louder of how we do not take our education system as a priority? Because you cannot believe that that man and their failing brand has any correlation. And talking about, well, it's because they refuse to serve the tea, or they don't have any of those teas in stock. Yes, because that is also part of the infamous medicine ball, and it takes two of those to make that. So therefore, yes, that tea is always damn near sold out because, hey, some people think it has medicinal effects. It does not. Anyways, now, do understand that, like I said, Starbucks has been struggling for quite some time, be it the Palestinian situation where, the whole boycott for that, the Black Lives Matter situation where it not only extended to customers, but it was also with the baristas, because around the time of 2020 is when we had the shirt debacle, and many of the baristas do remember that, and the fact that they allowed those who wanted to highlight Black Lives Matter because they did not want to really create a shirt, and then they kind of threw one out and was like, here, damn, they allowed us to wear our own shirts, and yeah, I gave them hell every shift. Now, here's the other thing. You also have to look at the fact that they brought in a very expensive CEO that was expected to turn this around. Now, again, they brought Nichols in and they were like, look, we expect you to smack it up, flip it, rub it down, pin it, reverse it, and do all the things. And it is not happening. And of course, now Wall Street is on his ass because they're like, look, bro, you were not cheap, and we're not seeing the benefits of our labor. We're not seeing the ROI here. Here's the thing. Starbucks created a culture, and you cannot about face that culture. You have to absolutely either evolve with it or try to make it adapt into something else. You cannot just go in there cold turkey and just say, hey, we're doing this now. Because when I say that, there's an actual lingo, there's an actual, it's just a certain atmosphere that they had. The fact that they did Reno's for in the last 5 years for a bunch of stores, wasteful ass activity, because it was no reason for all of that. However, now you got people like Dutch Bros all on your ass. Now you have people who are doing, whole art and soul type, like craft situations. They're hot on your ass. And you got your other ones that are just straight up, no frills, come get this cup of Joe type situation. But, you can get a little add-ons, but, there will be no secret menu, but there will be no excitement either. That type of situation. That is not Starbucks. Starbucks should have absolutely embraced, like I said, they should have stayed in their cozy Sarah era, with Lakeisha, instead of trying to be Kyle over there with Pike Two Sugars. This brand was never meant to go back to, I guess, the original starting coffee. And now the fact that that's what he is trying to turn it back to, and then you got baristas having to doodle on cups. Bitch, I am not an artist. I'm in here basically trying to just craft this little hot bean water and go the fuck on about my business. And it's not giving genuine. Like I said, at this point, Starbucks is really the iPhone of coffees. Same shit, different color. And that's quite evident with the merch, because as a former avid cup collector, and I can tell you I have tons, we all knew that it was almost like a sneaker drop. You were excited to get up, or you were excited to go and find this cup or whatever and be the one to be able to post it. You all missed the mark on that. And the fact that, your US flagship stores do not have the same level of detail that you have in your Asian markets, or hell, in Hawaii, missed opportunity. The fact that you have not improved your stainless steel and tried to charge more for it, missed opportunity. The fact that those plastic ass cups are way more expensive than they used to be, absolutely missed opportunity, because that's why they're getting marked down and sitting in those bins. Here's the thing. Is it going to get any better? Will they be able to turn this around? I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. I think that yes, this cut down was absolutely needed. The way that it was done was heartless. They need to take a page out of Target's book, because you see how the people do not like it when you mistreat people, especially in this economy. Absolutely not. But the question still remains: what y'all gonna do with those coffee machines? Because again, at closed mouth don't get fed. Like, can somebody pull up and get one? Like, what y'all doing with those? Because I would like to have that, or even the cold foam maker. You know, save